There we go. T-shirt, black screen. There we go. And that's a good screen. Welcome, everybody, to the Investing Bros Live Show. It is not just a black screen. There is two guys that do this. We've got a lot to break down. Bitcoin is pumping. And Ultra trickling a little behind, but today's a Bitcoin day. We are getting close to being back over $60,000. Does that happen, or will we see a double top? We're going to cover that and a whole lot more, but something big is happening in Wall Street. Yeah, maybe you as a retail investor, you're reading through the news and you're getting a little scared, but Wall Street is going big. They're investing in Bitcoin and crypto, and if you're not careful, you're going to miss the boat, so it's time to be acting now. We're going to cover all of that and a whole lot more in today's video, so don't go anywhere. Make sure to smash that like button so YouTube knows that people enjoy this content. If you enjoy it, you got to hit the like, and if you're new here, hit subscribe as well. But first, we got to roll our intro. T-Shroom, how are we doing today, my friend?
Oh, man. Better than I deserved, Tim. Did you like that prank?
Did you like that? Yeah. So literally 2 minutes before we went live, I said, T-Shroom, do you want to roll the intro so we don't have a black screen right after the timer? He says, Tim, I do that manually. It's not going to be a problem. So,
That's right.
there we go.
We're having
I'm gonna
fun.
throw that one in there. It's Friday. It's Friday, everybody, which reminds me at the end of the show, we have giveaways to do.
That's right.
With our members. Crux did put that in Discord. We'll grab that towards the end of the show. Don't let us forget it, anybody. Giving away some money today to some of our members. $50 giveaway coming your way. T-Shroom, how you feeling about the markets? I know you're better than you deserve, but how about these markets in your opinion?
Oh, man. You didn't think we could get any more sideways, and that's exactly what we did. Bitcoin said, hold my beer. I'm going to be even more sideways than I've been the last month. So, I mean, it's more consolidation, which in theory, coils the snake, and we could have a big pop. Although that pop could go in the non-favorable direction for hodlers. But yeah, I'm feeling bullish. It's just, I think we're right where we need to be. We're right on schedule. This has given a lot of folks like myself and Tim, retail investors time to buy some Bitcoin low before we get into the fall and into the new year when Bitcoin prices should be much, much higher. So that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you what, if you are in the VIP trading group, I told everyone this week we're going to do a lot more day trading. I do a lot more swing trading traditionally, bigger moves. But the chat has been asking, my VIP crew's been asking for more trading, day trading stuff. We entered a trade this morning at 58K. So we're looking very good. If you're in the VIP group and you took that trade, you're looking very nicely. If you want to be in that group, there's lots of ways to do it. Check out the links down below. Membership options, Lux Algo. There's lots of ways you guys can get in there. I wanted to read some chat here before we jump in here. Username says, so Tim says to take out a loan and buy more Bitcoin. All right. Tim did not say to take out a loan and buy more Bitcoin. Please invest responsibly with proper and healthy risk to reward management. Taking a loan out on your house would classify as not very wise. But if you have any loose change hanging around the house, that's what I'm saying. Go grab that and buy some more Bitcoin. Marcus Ballo saying, Jesus, praise him. Finally, I'm catching the show live, though I always watch it after work. Greetings from Ireland. Now I'm doing better than I deserve. Marcus, it is so glad to see you in here. So glad you are part of the group. Bituendo, I'm not in the VIP, but I figure out myself. That's the goal here, Bituendo. If you just because you're not in the VIP group, I'm hoping all of you guys are prosperous. I can tell you, I'm going to be able to teach you and learn you some more things if you are one of our VIP trading group. But even if you just catch the show live every single day, we're so glad you guys are a part of the Bros community. Maybe soon, you guys, after catching a couple big trades, you guys might go ahead and jump into that VIP group. T-Shroom, let's go ahead and get into the crypto bubbles and see just what is happening in the world of crypto here. Biggest mover of the day, HTX. We don't talk about HTX much, but it is up 13%. But other things that I do like seeing up, Tau is up, Stacks is up. Tau, one of our honorable mentions in our video here a couple days ago about a potential coin that will 20x in the bull market. So love seeing that. Uni's up 6.6, Arweave 7.3, and Rune 5.9. But we're going to check out Stacks today. And you know what else we need to talk a lot more about, but we don't? AVAX. Let's do AVAX TA today, T-Shirt. What do you think about that?
I think AVAX would be good. I'm very bullish on the project. Doesn't mean it's the best time to buy, but we'll let the charts determine that.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into those charts, starting off with the biggest one of them all. Of course, we're going to start off with Bitcoin. Up above 59,000 again today. It was a little bit of a chaotic morning. Again, if you were to come like to the 5-minute chart, all of this chaos right in here definitely took people that were trading for a ride. But the big breakout to the upside, it was expected. Why is that? We're going to start on some lower time frames. We saw some things on the chart that told us on the hourly chart we were looking more bullish, even since back at this big pullback yesterday. We had a buy signal on our 1-hour Luxago oscillator, but when you're day trading, you got to get into these lower time frames like the 15 and so on and so forth. 15-minute finding nice support here this morning off the smart trail. Good entry position, and of course, then riding it up right now. We're looking at, in our group, I'm waiting for 60K, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and put it right now. I think that Bitcoin is getting up to 60K, but what does it do when we get there? Of course, we just got up here a couple of days ago, didn't quite hit 60K, came back up to about 59,900 and rejected. So I want to make sure you guys understand that is something you should be watching. But another thing that I'm watching is this falling channel that Bitcoin is in that potentially actually could suggest we could go higher than 60K. 61K is the resistance level with an order block in play. That could be some interesting resistance levels here on the 4-hour chart. Like we said, it wasn't just the 1-hour chart, 4-hour as well here yesterday. Found some nice support on the smart trail. So Luxago just continuing to kill it in the game of trading. Also, when you come down here, we're not quite getting the signal with confidence, but give us maybe one more good candle. We've had a green reversal here recently. We're starting to move back up into the right with bullish momentum, and that money flow looks like it could be about to turn green. But even better, check out what you have when you look at these levels. You definitely have yourself some nice bullish divergence. Oh, and I was going to make this so you can see it better, but I got to leave that up. Let's turn off the Luxago indicators. Check out these lower lows right here. With our candles, but at the same time, we set higher lows with our oscillators. That is some good bullish divergence. Now, that reminds me, yesterday we had a VIP group special training. We talked about divergences, and I just now realized this morning I completely forgot to download that recording and put it up on our VIP group. So I will be doing that right after the stream. Do not fret too much. If you are a VIP member and you're looking for that recording, it's coming out. We covered a lot of ground yesterday about divergences. You do not want to miss it. As a whole right here, let's go back to the chart here, T-Shroom. I'm watching at the moment, guys, out of this bullish push. Look for between 60 to 61 as the next level of resistance. If we see a serious breakout above that level, I'm going to put the money on this red cloud and the next level of an order block, even though it's not a very strong bearish one. Next stopping point, 65K. But you know what else happens, T-Shroom, at 65K for Bitcoin? 65K is the defining mark of when we start to turn back into an overwhelmingly long-term bullish market. That's where our smart trail on the daily chart is. We will have a little bit of a bearish breaker block right up here on 67, but you start to get closer towards confirming that the longer-term descending channel, again, we have a short-term one and a longer-term one, it's getting closer to breaking out. 65 gives us the strength that the bulls are back. Breaking above 70K gives us potentially a massive breakout coming to the upside. And when you have a channel like this, the opening, you actually, instead of taking the opening at the beginning, you take the opening of the end of a broadening wedge channel. You move this over to a breakout. If we do start to see bulls buying in bulk and everything gets crazy, that would send price, according to this formation, upwards of $94,000 for Bitcoin. Wall Street's buying. If you don't have enough, it's time to be adding up your bags. Overwhelmingly short time frames bullish right now, intermediate time frames bullish right now, and the long time frames definitely very, very bullish right now, hitting recent support on our weekly chart. That's what we have going on with Bitcoin. We're going to talk more about Bitcoin news here in just a couple of minutes, but let's continue on and check in on some other markets. Let's take a quick look at what Ethereum is doing. I recorded a video today with Paul Barron. I don't know what time it's going out, but we talked very heavily about Ethereum. And one of the things we discussed here, I want to show you guys, let's go to the daily chart. Peter Brandt put out a tweet. I love Peter Brandt, a great trader, but he put out a tweet that's potentially going to scare some people out of their Ethereum positions. Between these months over here, when we hit this high back in March and then came down and touched these lows in May, we started a nice little channel here in Ethereum with these highs sitting in the camp around $3,900, $4,000, lows coming in here at about $2,800. Well, What Peter Brandt pointed out on Twitter here more recently is with this recent bearish breakout, there's an outside chance Ethereum could have to fall down back towards $1,700. Now, I want to make sure before I leave you on that note, because that wouldn't really make sense. If Bitcoin's about to go up, based on what his chart's saying, is Ethereum really about to fall? Peter Brandt is a great technical analyst, but we read a tweet from him literally about a week and a half ago where he talked about it's not always about probabilities. Technical analysts need to be aware of possibilities. That's where you set yourself up for success. And ultimately, when you go back to my screen here, T-Shroom, I need you guys to know Peter Brandt is 1,000% correct. There is a possibility based off of price action that Ethereum could find its way all the way back here towards $1,700. With that being said, that doesn't mean you automatically just go with it. Let's take a look at what Ethereum has done here. It fell back to a long-term level of rising support that we had not touched since all the way back in October of 2017. You start to turn on our Lux-Algo oscillators, and you can see here it actually flipped on us. So let's go back here and hit a replay. We hit a level of take profit that we had been looking for. There we go. We hit a level of take profit that we've been looking for a while from a short position way, way back here earlier on in July. So while we sufficed all of the bullishness we need right there, let's get rid of replay. Now everything has flipped, and we're actually under a buy order on Ethereum with a price target between 3,000 to 3,400 for the ETH market. What we're looking for to get bullish, just like Bitcoin needs to conquer 65, ETH needs to get back above 3,100. That doesn't mean that that's all that matters for the bulls, but it would turn us back into a daily bullish chart momentum. It gets back inside of this. Let's go ahead and turn off. Oop, didn't want to do that one. Come on now, charts. Frozen on me. All right, guys, there we go. I don't know why that took so long. Trading view, glitchy here a little bit. When we get back up into this yellow box here, now all of a sudden we have to start having that conversation of, okay, well, maybe this box was a little bit bearish, but let's take a look here. Let's get rid of some of these lines here and take a look at what's happening with Ethereum. You actually can see Ethereum now kind of in its own little falling channel with a bigger break to the upside more than likely coming here very, very soon. Let's connect candle body closes right there. This one is big, guys. If we do get a bullish breakout and we get above that 3,100, we could see a bigger move on Ethereum, possibly getting us up over 42, 43. I think that we're going to still see all-time highs. I think Ethereum season starts for altcoin season. Do not be surprised to see Ethereum get back towards 5,000 before the end of the year. My high end, we're looking at maybe 60, 6,500 give or take. Could be an interesting level for Ethereum. But just like we have with Bitcoin, lower time frames, seeing a lot of support, a lot of take profits for sell orders hit, a lot of moves to the upside. Even when we look at the oscillators, bullish momentum as a whole here. We're seeing on short time frames, intermediate time frames, and long-term time frames, all saying that we have a very bullish front here for Ethereum. So another one, is it going to rally maybe as fast as Bitcoin? No, because it's Bitcoin season right now. But something very interesting you should know about Ethereum is that their gas fees are sitting ridiculously low right now. And while some people are going to complain about that, it is a lagging indicator of price being down. Ethereum being cheap to transact means we might be about to see a dump. Not a dump, excuse me. That's probably the wrong term, but an inflow of a lot of use case on the Ethereum ecosystem that would cause price to shoot up. We've kind of been waiting here with Ethereum's ETF to spark a nice rally, and that could be coming very, very soon. So keep an eye on that. Let's keep moving on here. I told you guys I wanted to take a look at stacks today. Where did I have stacks? Right in here. Boom. Let's take a look here. I said stacks, and what was the other one? AVAX, I said, T-Shroom?
That's correct, Tim. AVAX.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me there. If you guys enjoy T-Shroom and Tim and our dynamics on the show, smash the like button so we know that you care. That's something that T-Shroom, he confides in me every single week. We have a weekly therapy session where he tells me sometimes he cries himself to sleep at night because he's not sure if you guys actually love him. You need to let him know.
Yeah, and it's dehydrating to cry yourself to sleep. You want to go. You want to go to sleep hydrated, and if you're crying every night, doesn't work.
Does not work. T-Shroom, let's go ahead and take a look at what Stacks is doing. Stacks has been in a very consistent falling channel here now ever since the highs way back in March when everything seemed to top out. But with one more touch of support, it's another reason to look and say, potentially, do we see higher highs coming in for the first time since back in March? Well, when they do, / if they do, this would be a big move for Stacks. Once again, we're kind of watching potential breakout here, back up above $2, pushing closer towards $3. But what is Lux Algo telling us from a standpoint of support and resistance levels? And what is it telling us about the strength of the movement? Now, we did not on the daily chart come all the way down to our take profit level. So in the same breath of what Peter Brandt teaches, you got to be ready for possibilities, even if they don't happen. There still is a possibility that Stacks needs to go below $1. That being said, when I move on and I take a look at our oscillators, we recently had some really good signs on the oscillator perspective that this could be a move to the upside. Coming down here extremely low, it was a temporary buy signal. It worked out very well, but historically, you can see when we get these low levels, you do have a nice little pump in the price action, and we should at least see AVAX come back towards the daily smart trail, back to this level of resistance. We're talking about back towards 173, and then it becomes decision time. But I'll tell you this, with Stacks being the number one layer 2 for Bitcoin, don't expect it during the non-altcoin season or Bitcoin season to maybe have extremely great returns, but it will slowly but surely lag behind Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin starts to take off to higher levels, Stacks will not be far behind. We will have big explosive moves. For right now, let's check out the 4-hour chart, though, because there's so much space. Let's check out what's happening on the 4-hour chart. We're right now bouncing off a strong level of an order block here, but technically our smart trail is coming in back down towards 132. You see the smart trail, another very bullish order block. So if I'm a trader right now, let me tell you the strategy that I would be using. I normally will teach this kind of stuff into the VIP group, but ultimately I want to just tell you a little bit of how we would do things and maybe entice you to come join the group. These are both levels of significant support. So let's pretend I wanted to trade $100. What I'm probably looking at, while I see resistance up here towards 171, I'm going to do something along the lines of this. I might take my $50 first, if I can grab the right thing here. There we go. I might start one trade at if we pull back down here towards 140, give or take. I think that's definitely possible. I might enter one trade just like this, put my stop loss just a little bit below our smart trail, because if we lose that smart trail, I don't want to stay in there. But I'm going to save my other $50 for a nice entry down here at 132. If both of these are triggered, I'll be completely fine with it altogether. I can even get a lower stop loss on this one, but I get a nice entry point somewhere in the middle of actually being somewhere around 136. That right there would yield for me a nice return, if I'm right, about 20%. Now, if I'm trading leverage because I'm using CoinW or Blofin with links down below, throw a 5x on that bad boy. We're talking about doubling your money if these trades work out. Therefore, this is how I would be trading this right now if I'm trading Stacks. Look for those levels potentially to come here in the next couple of hours or days. Again, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, so I think Stacks will follow, but you want to be a little patient with it. Make sure you wait for the trade to come to you. Don't go chasing and FOMOing in on every single move that you see. Last one here, AVAX, and then we're going to turn into some news. What time am I at? 3:18, T-Shroom. I'm doing a great job. The goal is to be done with this by 3:20. I'm going to probably run a little long, and it's honestly the black screen's fault. But, you know, it is what it is.
Little Friday prank. Let's get into AVAX, Tim.
Let's get into AVAX here. Let's just go ahead and stay on the shorter time frames. I'll do this really quickly. Longer time frames, just want to give you guys some good side news. Very bullish. We're in a falling wedge pattern of our own right now here on these longer time frames. I got to zoom out, though, to show you. There we go. Long-term time frame. This could send the price of AVAX back up towards $40 into this range right here in the next couple of weeks. But zooming in, let's just take a look at what are we looking at on the short term. How's the strength looking for the next couple of days? That resistance level, that 4-hour resistance level, staying very, very important for the bears and in control. So let's get above that. Let's get above $22 and recapture some bullish momentum. The possibilities right now under a current short position down here towards $18.95, give or take $19. We're sitting on current support, both from our long-term support level that's falling on the falling channel, but we also have this nice order block. I think this is one kind of similar to what I just did with Stacks. If you're looking for positions to enter, this is not bad whatsoever. This is a very historically low number, but I'm not going to rule out that you couldn't see something south of $19 come available as well. Either way, I still see when I look at the longer time frames, I come back out here to the daily chart, for example, and I'm looking at the oscillators. Take a look at how these oscillators looked during this big crash back here early in August. These are bullish divergences in play. This is bullish momentum on our MACDs, RSIs, and then this Lux Algo oscillator This is what I dream of for a trade opportunity, and it hasn't flashed bullish yet. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. But take a look what we have going on here. The money flow got super deep. Big, thick, red money flow. Excessive sellers in the space, but I'm getting green reversals. I got a very overextended green momentum oscillator. And now when those sellers start to leave the space, this is my number one trading entry signal to go in long. And that, if I'm right, should at least send the price back up here towards $26, $27. When we start to get to that level, we're starting to have the conversation. Is it time to break out and head closer to 40? But for now, let's wait for that signal. We could drop just a little bit lower. We already hit this take profit, but we could hit lower towards $19. But I think it's not going to be very long before we see 26, 27, and then after that, shortly after, $40 coming for AAVE. We are in a little bit past 321, but again, it's the black screen's fault. T-Shroom, why don't you go ahead and take it over for here? What is some news that people need to know about? Again, just kind of, you're joining just now. Thank you for being here. Wall Street is gobbling up all the crypto that you guys are too scared to buy for yourselves. Do not miss out on this opportunity. But Tishu's about to dive in and tell us why or how we can look at this data and kind of use it for our investment purposes. Tishu, what you got for news?
Tim, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to tell you why and how. We're going to start off with this headline here. That's Bullish. The third largest public pension fund in the world, South Korea's NPS, just bought $34 million dollars worth of MicroStrategy stock to get Bitcoin exposure.
T-Shirt, who's that page? What's that Twitter page?
This Twitter page,
good news Twitter page.
Now this Twitter page here is the Investing Bros. So you may not have known that. You may have thought Tim and T-Shroom, they're only on YouTube. They've got Discord too. Guys, we're on Discord. We're on YouTube. We are on TikTok.
You just muted yourself as you went to my screen.
We are on TikTok, believe it or not. Look at all these juicy TikToks. Tim was talking about thickness on the charts there in the oscillators.
What's going on with the blue lip?
Yeah, there's even some TikToks that have been here so long that they've gotten sunburned. They've been here so long. So you got to go over and check out our TikTok. But this headline, Tim, the king of distractions here, is from the Investing Bros Twitter, formerly known as X. We're having fun. But Tim, how big of a headline is this? $34 million, not a ton of money, but it's also the bigger part of this headline is that it is the third largest public pension fund in the world, Tim. Mm-hmm. That is crazy. I didn't even know that the people were keeping track of it at a world scale, how big public pension funds are. So Tim, break us down for it. How big is this?
So the size of it, 34 million, is not going to be enough in and of itself to make a move. It's the statement that we're seeing Wall Street going big on getting exposure to Bitcoin. But of course, this is also on the heels of hearing more recently, I believe it was Norway and what was the other European country? Switzerland. Norway and Switzerland going big in MicroStrategy. Now, it's very intriguing that they're going after they're not actually directly going after Bitcoin. They're not actually personally exposing themselves to Bitcoin, but what they're doing is they're actually exposing themselves to leveraged Bitcoin. When you purchase MicroStrategy stock, we've talked about this before, MicroStrategy, you technically could probably get better gains holding a MicroStrategy stock than you would holding Bitcoin. Now, we recommend you personally own your Bitcoin. Don't go buy just an ETF. Don't go buy MicroStrategy. Don't just go buy the miners. You can do all of those things on the side, but if you don't have a private wallet, a cold wallet with Bitcoin in there for your future and your children's future, you're making a major mistake. The future of this planet, those who hold Bitcoin will hold the power as well, and that's why we need it to stay decentralized, spread out amongst the people. But that being said, these things will have direct value, or excuse me, direct consequences on the price. I guess I'm blanking on the better term for there. As they're purchasing MicroStrategy, guess what MicroStrategy is going to turn around and do? They're going to turn around and buy more Bitcoin because they have this massive demand coming in. It's not quite necessarily an ETF style thing, but it's kind of similar in the sense of the entire stock really rests and dies by the level of what Bitcoin does. So if I'm a Wall Street company, if I am a government entity, and I'm purchasing MicroStrategy, that means I don't want to just own Bitcoin. I want to make even more money than just making Bitcoin because it's almost like a leverage position. That is betting big on the markets. And 34 million That's not as much as 34 billion. It would be nicer to see 34 billion, but it still is a statement purchase that they are taking advantage of these dips. And I talked about this yesterday. We talked about it with BlackRock, but this extends to Wall Street and institutions as a whole. If you are sitting here continuing to have cold feet saying, you know what? I'll buy Bitcoin when it's at 42,000. I'll buy Bitcoin when it's at 43,000. That's exactly what they want you to think. Maybe we do go down that low. Maybe there's a chance. I don't think there's a high chance, but there's a chance. But if you're waiting until buying at those lower levels, we are watching the large institutions, we're watching Wall Street, we're watching everyone who already has power in the world scoop up Bitcoin at these current levels. And it's concerning because I still see retail investors thinking that they're going to enter the perfect bottom position. And I'll tell you this, if you study your history, it rarely is retail that purchases the bottoms. It's only the whales and the institutions. If they're buying, that should tell you something right now about which direction it looks like Bitcoin and the crypto market are going.
Absolutely. And while the Korean pension funds are not Wall Street, right, a lot of big funds like this are taking their cues from consultants that absolutely work on Wall Street. We're gonna also hear from this headline here, which brings us right into the heart, the beating, thumping heart of Wall Street. Again, from the Investing Bros X account here. If you can follow us for the latest breaking news. Bullish, just in, Howard Lutnick named Trump transition team co-chair. This is pretty big news, pretty bullish for Bitcoin here. Howard Lutnick is a Bitcoin and Tether bull at Wall Street giant Cantor Fitzgerald. And then if you go to our Twitter account, this is a good reason to go. You can go watch his full speech at Bitcoin 2024. It's 20 minutes, just a little bit over 20 minutes, and he's talking about investment banking. He's a fan of Bitcoin. It's a great listen. Go ahead and check that out. But this is no small thing. So being the transition team co-chair, that's like the transition team I think is like max 10 people. They're not. I don't think that they necessarily are going to be cabinet members, but this is a very, very big headline. Now, of course, if I'm Howard Lutnick, my priority is not going to be crypto, right, at all. It's going to be Wall Street and Wall Street's interests as I'm working for Donald Trump there. But he's very bullish on Bitcoin, and he's actually said that he's not into crypto, right, but he is into Tether. So I believe his firm, Cantor Fitzgerald, has taken a position and contributed in some way to Tether. But he's very big on Bitcoin. That's all you need to know. Tim, what are your thoughts on this? Did you know much about Howard Lutnick here? But
I don't know much about him, and I don't think that this is something to dwell on for too long. It's just I think the news headline is really going to say all of it. Another person who is pro-Bitcoin and pro-crypto has been added to the potential list of Donald Trump's cabinet should he be elected. That's going to be a bullish thing for crypto. That's going to be a bullish thing for Bitcoin holders. That's about all we're going to take away from here. I don't think we extrapolate any further. I saw some interesting chat here, super chat from Army Piper, but I wanted to read username's chat first. I like this because I just mentioned stop having cold feet and jump in. He said, stop waiting with cold feet, buy feet warmers and get ahead of the game. If you live in a cold state or a cold country, you might need feet warmers to make sure you're investing correctly. Army Piper, though, with the 199 super chat, thank you so much, Piper, said MSTX 1.75x leveraged MicroStrategy. So if leveraging Bitcoin is not good enough for you, leverage MicroStrategies as well using MSTX. Thank you for that advice there, Piper. If you guys want to catch more about what he is thinking and saying, he's got a morning show every single day about 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I think it's 7:30 his time because he's 2 hours behind us. That's how committed he is to the game. Check out his live show. He's dedicated. He is dedicated. All right, T-Shroom, let me see if there's anything else here I've seen in chat. Also, alt season will not come this year, question mark? I think it comes in December. So it's almost like it doesn't come this year, but I think it sneaks in right there at the very end of 2024. But the big gains will happen in 2025. But I'm definitely going to be prepared and ready with my alts even before that alt season begins. I want to catch it early. T-Shroom, let's get back into the news because I know we have a couple other articles, and then we'll do some TA. We have our factoids of the day. We have giveaways, and just hanging out with chat here. What else do you have for us, T-Shroom?
Well, really quick, Army Piper's, that ticker that he threw out. First of all, if you're not in the if you can't get access to U.S. stocks, you're not going to be able to buy this. But I will point out that this is a very new stock, so it's an ETF, right? So be very, very careful with this one. It is going to be highly volatile. But if you're trading in crypto, if you're investing in crypto, you should know that you're getting quite a bit of volatility with these investments. This is one that I will be buying. I'm absolutely going to be buying this. Why? Because I already have a lot of MicroStrategies, so I want to go ahead and get some exposure here to this leverage one as well. I don't know how much I'm going to buy. I'll be letting my bros and Brolux know exactly how much. But let's go ahead and get into the next story here. This is really going to get at the heart of kind of our theme today of Wall Street going ahead and buying up Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and take a look, Tim. Let's take a listen.
Bitcoin on pace for a negative quarter, but interest continues to grow across Wall Street when it comes to Bitcoin ETFs. Let's get to Mackenzie Sagalos with that story. Hi, Mac.
Hey, Contessa. So that 13F deadline on Wednesday gave us a read on which banks and hedge funds took a position in the new spot Bitcoin ETFs in the second quarter. Goldman Sachs in particular went big in Q2, lifting its holdings to over $418 million, up from zero exposure in Q1. Now, most of that is coming from the 7 million shares that it holds in BlackRock's ETF. Morgan Stanley actually trimmed its Bitcoin ETF holdings to around $189 million and swapped out its Grayscale shares for BlackRock's offering. HSBC has nearly $3.6 million worth of spot Bitcoin holdings, and Bank of America has $5.3 million in these products. UBS and JP Morgan both took on minimal stakes. Now, it's worth noting that most of these banks are likely just snapping up crypto for their clients, not their own balance sheets. And then you've got hedge funds like Millennium Management, which are some of the biggest buyers. It's a single largest holder of shares in BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. Recent filings also show that Point72 Asset Management, Elliott, Apollo, Citadel, Jane Street, and the Michigan Retirement System have all got spot Bitcoin products in their portfolio.
Yeah, so they left a couple. They even left a couple out in that list when they started adding the pension funds. The Wisconsin Pension Fund, the City of New Jersey City Workers Pension Fund. There's a lot of other domestic American funds that are very large and very bullish on Bitcoin. They're putting their money where their mouth is. A lot of interesting points made there. CNBC kind of hedging their bets by saying some of these firms are only bringing it on their balance sheet for the sake of making a little bit of a profit, selling it to their customers.
I was going to say that point. She almost said it like it's like, let's not get carried away. They're not bullish on it. Track with us here, though, people. If I know I have customers in the future that are going to buy at much higher prices, don't I want to go ahead and buy it while it's cheaper? Even if what she's saying is true and they're not wanting to buy it for themselves, which I highly doubt. I think a lot of these firms are buying it to stack their own bags as well. They are taking advantage of this dip to buy ahead of time, because even though they have to buy every single time, but let's say there's a new level of inflows that come in that exceeds what they currently hold. Well, that night after the market closes, they have to purchase and back all of those levels or inflows before the next morning when markets open again. However, let's say there's a massive outflow at a certain time period. While they can go and sell Bitcoin back into the markets, they do not have to. And in fact, that's some of the stuff we're looking at with like BlackRock, for example, where, sometimes there's some outflows, but are they matching all that with selling, or are they just continue to hold in anticipation that the demand will come back? That is something to keep in mind as well when we're looking at metrics like that. Buying at these low levels with anticipation of the future is extremely bullish, because that is them betting on the fact that they can sell Bitcoin later for higher levels like 70K, 80K, but they only had to pay $58,000 for it. It's a brilliant strategy if I was them.
Yep, absolutely. So Wall Street, going out to their brokerages and purchasing some Bitcoin, whether it be for their customers or for themselves. There's definitely lots of transactions to show that Wall Street is bullish on Bitcoin at a time where it seems like, a lot of folks who have gotten in recently, are down. They're looking at their wallets. They're saying, I've actually lost money. That $1,000 that I put in is now only worth $850. What the heck, investing bros? Well, it has to do with where you bought. You bought high. You buy high and sell low? No, you buy high and you hold and sell higher, right? But the reality is if you weren't buying in the bear market, right, all through the last couple of years, since the very end of 2021, right, you've still been technically buying high. You've been buying on the upswing of this bull market that we're in. Doesn't mean you can't sell higher. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, the trajectory is much, much higher. You'll still make quite a profit, but you are still buying high. That's the bad part. The good part is you don't have to sell low, right? The market is going to do everything they can, and I love to harp on this point because it's so true. We talk about the manipulators. We talk about the composite man. What is their end goal? Their end goal is to get you, the new investor, to sell low, to buy high and sell low, which is the opposite of what you should be doing, buying low and selling high. It's a simple truth, but a lot of people forget it. They fumble the ball, and they get emotionally invested. So it's disappointing to see.
We have a chat here, T-shirt. We'll chat real quick. Dusty Hunt says the Australian Breakdancing Union bought today. That doesn't make you bullish. Right there.
And I think we all kind of saw that one coming. That one has been in the card. That was on my bingo card every square. So
they need a win.
Bingo, right? That's something that we've been anticipating for quite a while. They needed a win. That's right.
They needed a win.
That's right. They needed a win.
All right, let's get back into it.
So we've got one more story here. This one not as bullish, but it's speculation from someone who I follow. That'd be Fred Krueger, saying U.S. is definitely selling Bitcoin. Just no source, no facts. That's just his speculation, because there is the question: if there's so much bullishness, if Wall Street is buying a bunch of Bitcoin, why is the price not going up? And the answer to that, this time last month was because Germany was selling 3 billion Bitcoins. $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. This month, there's a lot of investors kind of scratching their heads like, well, why is Bitcoin down? Fred Krueger's answer is it's the U.S. The U.S. Marshals, some of that money that's been confiscated from Silk Road, they're going ahead and they're selling it, and they're not disclosing that yet. But Tim, what are your thoughts on that? What is the likelihood that the United States is selling their Bitcoin?
We've commented on this before, and I'm just going to keep my answer the same until I see the evidence, let's say from Arkham or something like that, showing that we're actually selling that Bitcoin. I'm going to continue to believe that this is potentially a part of a convenient storyline to convince people to sell, because that's quite the headline. U.S. government selling their Bitcoin. It would not be bullish. It would not be great, even though I have a twist on it. I think I've told you. I have a twist on it why I think it would actually be very bullish, but also why I don't think it's going to happen. I'll say it again for anyone who's missed it. All right, I'm not making a political statement here in sense of who you should vote for. So let's start off with just that. But you cannot deny the facts that Bitcoin and crypto have been falling ever since it has looked, based off of the polls, that Kamala Harris has taken the lead and she would be president. What does that communicate? It communicates that people are very afraid of what would happen if she was president, meaning no one sees her, even if she claims to be a crypto president, no one sees her as actually legitimately being good for the crypto prices. That being said, in her efforts to be considered pro-crypto, if the government is truly selling Bitcoin right now, which again, there's not evidence of, there's just rumors, if they're actually selling it, it takes her feet out from underneath her. It makes her look like a liar. It confirms it to the people. That would not be a good look for her. So in reality, if we're going to see, and T-Shroom has talked about this before too with me on the show, if we're going to see crypto go back up, we might not see a new all-time high until we see those poly-market polls get a little bit more close to even, or maybe even Donald Trump taking the lead, because he's perceived as the better president to see markets go to the upside. That being said, if the government is selling, it's short-term bearish, but could end up being a hurtful thing to Kamala's points. That's long-term bullish. Either way, I'm kind of giving you guys, you can look at it as cup half full. Either direction, it's going to be a good thing for the markets.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's a lot of the news, Tim. Remember, we do have a TikTok account, so go ahead and check that out. If you just cannot get enough of the bros, which I know I can't, then you go to our TikTok account. Look, you've got a TikTok account already. You scroll through, you watch a bunch of mindless jibber jabber. Why don't you learn some things about crypto? And every once in a while, we'll throw in a coin that we're actually pretty bullish on that you may not have heard of. You can get all that and more on our TikTok account. Where do you find it? You go to Investing Bros. It's very, very simple. You just type that in the search bar and you'll find us very rapidly. And don't follow any of the fakes. There's already a couple of fakes. But what we want to do is try to double our following. Right now we have 80 followers on TikTok. We want to try to get to double that.
Let's get over 100. Get to 160.
That's right. We want to get there just as quick as we can. So if we can get to 160 by this time next week, by Friday of next week, then I will do the rest of the Saturday show with my hat off.
Ooh, a hatless T-Shroom.
I will not be wearing this hat on Saturday if we can get to
There we
160
go.
by next Friday.
Yeah,
So.
if you guys are just joining our community, we have a great community here in the Investing Bros. You guys are so fantastic. That is why T-Shroom and I come back every single day. You guys have grown our YouTube channel so crazy fast. We're trying to catch up. We're trying to be responsible content creators. We're creating stuff on Instagram, X, TikTok. So help us out. Go give us a follow so we can continue to produce more content. If you're newer here and you're just, you've been around, you've seen the technical analysis, you've seen the news breakdown, you're liking what you're hearing, I urge you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button just so you know more about T-Shroom and myself. This is not the channel for crazy degen trading. This is not the channel for long-term meme investment. We really do prioritize helping you guys invest wisely and taking into account correct and wise risk to reward management. That means we trade more often than not a lot of the higher blue chip coins. We're investing in coins that maybe you're not going to see in 100x like some of these small market cap coins. But at the end of the day, we don't want you to just make a lot of money in the next week or the next year. We want to see you change your life forever and understand how to invest in markets correctly to make generational wealth for yourself, your family, and your future family, your future generation. So if that's something you guys love, you want to be on board with the bros, that is what we're all about. To know more about that and get more access to it, several ways you can do it. You can be here every single day at 3 p.m. live when we go with our live show. You can watch all of our morning videos coming out at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Smash the like on all of them. If you want to go deeper, we have a free level of Discord where the chat, I know a lot of you guys love the chat on our live shows. Well, the conversation never stops because we have a free Discord where we continue to talk. But then we also go deeper into education. I'm going to teach you guys and show you on the YouTube channel how to invest correctly in the right coins. But if you want to learn more about how to invest in yourself and your understanding so that you can go out and do this on your own, that's where all of our membership options come into play. Come in here and learn how to trade with us, learn how to protect yourself from your own potentially bad investing decisions, and learn the whole trade so that you can go out. We don't want to just give you fish. We want to teach you how to fish for yourself. That's what the memberships are all about. And the community is pretty amazing. Check all those levels out. T-Shroom, let's do this. We skipped Tuesday's factoid of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, in theory, we're supposed to have 6. I've lost 3 in a row. I lost Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the rule is I have to get 3 correct to give away $50 tomorrow. Today, I'm assuming the factoid elf gave us 1. Can you have him prepare 2 for tomorrow? I really would love to give one of our listeners $50 tomorrow, but I need their help getting these things correctly. Can you contact the factoid elf? Let him know tomorrow we need double.
Tim, I will do this for you. I will,
Okay,
but you owe me.
you.
You owe me big.
I do. Guys, go ahead and start dropping questions in chat for Q&A. But T-Shroom, what is today's factoid today? It's a must. Like, I have to get today's correct for a hope at getting potentially 2 correct tomorrow to give away $50. So chat, please, please, please help me out. No cheating. Don't Google answers. Let's put our minds together. Let's defeat the factoid elf. What do you have for us today, T-Shroom?
All right, Tim. Well, a lot of the folks in Discord have been saying they've been making money trading crypto. Well, if you have been, put your trading strategy to the test. Start trading leverage. And you have to look no further than with CoinW, who is sponsoring today's video, bringing you T-Shroom and Tim's analysis. Go ahead and check out the link in the description to CoinW today. Get a free $100 and be on your way to leverage trading crypto. Tim, the school colors of Virginia Tech University is burnt orange. And what shade of maroon? Chicago maroon, dolphin eye maroon, dried basil maroon, or Oxford's Duke maroon? What is the shade of maroon for the school colors of Virginia Tech?
As much as I love Virginia Tech, I don't think I've ever even inquired upon the shade of maroon. That being said, Dolphin's eye maroon makes no sense. Neither does dried basil. I don't know about Oxford Duke, but it's one of those things like, you know how you're around something for a long time,
right?
And you catch it, like you've maybe heard it in a conversation here or there. Chicago maroon sounds right to me. I don't know what the others would even constitute, but Chicago maroon to me, I think feels right. I feel like I've heard that somewhere, but I'm not 100% certain. Let's go with A, Chicago. Investing Bros, I'm assuming that's Crux, is saying yes. Indy Halo says we're doomed, Tim. I don't know. This should have been a home run for me. But to be fair, I don't know. I think it's A. I think it's Chicago.
Okay, Tim, let's find out. If you're a true Hokie, it is Chicago Maroon winning, breaking the drought here, finally getting into it here. The official Wikipedia page of Virginia Tech University, Chicago Maroon and burnt orange. There you go. There's the proud colors of the Hokies.
Yeah, that was one again. You know, have you ever heard they say that technically everything you ever seen or heard is somewhere in your brain? You just have to relock. I think that's one of the things. Like if you would just ask me with no options, there's no way I get this right. But I feel like I have heard it somewhere a long, long time ago, and that paid off for us. So we're still open, guys. We still have a chance at a $50 giveaway tomorrow. Come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have 2 factoids of the day. So almost like it's like a sudden death situation between me and this factoid elf, and we're gonna fight, and we're going to win $50. Guys, there is 500 people in chat here. Make sure we're smashing that like button. What are we at currently in likes, T-Shroom? We got to
197.
Wow, that's discipline.
That's low.
That's
low.
Very low.
Yeah.
Very low. And I just got a factoid right for you guys. Smash the like button, please. Let's get into some Q&A. Moho, I'm not reading that chat. That's disrespectful. Please, I love you, but don't say mean things about my favorite college football team. I appreciate it. Does VT know what it's like to have a real winning season? All right, username. Come on. Let's keep it respectful in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we know what it's like to have a winning season. We used to be the most consistent team in the country. And then freaking Fuente happened. So let's get over it. I've moved on to bigger things in crypto that keep me, it's been in a bear market, so that wasn't even really a good thing for the last couple of years either. So T-Shroom with the composite man, take a drink and cheers. There you go, right there. I thought I saw someone say earlier they had a coin they wanted me to take a look at, but it's gotten lost in the sauce.
We did have a question
This is a
here.
really good let's see. I'll do this one, then you get the question. Pancakes and peanut butter. Great name, first of all. Love it. This is a real good channel. Thank you for that. Even though there's still a little bullish on Cardano and a few other old holes. What's an old hole? Their TA is spot on. Well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. There was 2 compliments in there. The third one,
we'll take
disagree on a coin. But that's called respect right there, pancake and peanut butter. I love it. And I'll take the compliment.
Real recognized real.
Yeah.
What was the question that I saw? That's good. I didn't memorize it, so I don't know what it is, but I do have it here on our software. Okay. This is from Naful. Naful Ali Shah said, some investors think that Bitcoin will not make all-time high this year because it has already made. What are your views about it?
So let's make sure I'm clarifying the question correctly. Not new all-time highs. So we've made it to about 73,800. We did it historically before the AAVE event. Never happened before in the history of Bitcoin price action. So the theory that some people have is that because we did something for the first time ever and went to new all-time highs early, that was an early top in the bull market, and now the bull market is done. Let me explain to you a couple reasons why I do not think that is true. And first of all, I think we'll see a new all-time high in 2024 above 73.4, but I still don't think we see the high of the bull market at least until the end of next summer. Couple of reasons why. First of all, eventually the 4-year cycle will end, but I don't think that day is today. I think if it ends, it actually will end because instead of correcting here at the end of summer of 2025, we actually might just continue to go up to the right, and therefore we break the 4-year cycle of every 4 years we hit a peak and have a dramatic pullback in what we call a bear market. So the first thing is, when it's not broke, don't fix it. The 4-year cycle is not broke. And yes, the halving went higher than previous all-time highs, but you also have to remember that the 2021 bull market highs were definitely manipulated by the institutions and the stock market. There was a war on crypto, calling it an environmental nightmare. Even people that were bullish, such as Elon Musk, helped play some of the FUD by selling Bitcoin because of the environmental concerns. We saw a bunch of negativity with open interest shorting for lack of a better way to put it, the crap out of Bitcoin, which suppressed the price to stay below $70,000. I know this is a theory, but I have a theory, ladies and gentlemen, that Bitcoin really, in all actuality, really should have gone over $100,000 in 2021. But because of manipulation from the stock market, from institutions, from people who wanted to buy it at lower prices, we had a little bit of a dud. It was the first time the top of a bull market was not a blow off top. It was just kind of slow, gradual push that almost looked like a double top. That was history in and of itself. If, though, let's just stay with me here. Or actually, let me show you. Let me show you what this would look like. Let me get rid of some things here. By the way, Bitcoin was flirting with 60K here not that long ago. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Hit 59.9. Let's go out to the weekly chart. And I want to show you some things using Fibonacci. Let's go to a cleaner chart, though, because it will look better. Yeah, no drawings on it whatsoever. All right. So like I mentioned, usually we have what are called blow-off tops with bull market tops. What that means is aggressive rally up into the top and then a quick fall down. You don't stay up here. You don't flirt up here. There's no double tops. It's a very quick ascension followed by a very fast descension. It happened way back in 2013. It happened back here in 2017. It did not happen in 2021, right? So there's a difference right there. But let's go back and let's take a look at maybe a potential similarity here. If you were to look at what happened in 2019 after the bear market, Bitcoin would go on to jump all the way up here into what we call the platinum pocket on the logarithmic scale. That's when we get to the 0.786 level. All right. Well, in this case, we set a new all-time high, but pretend with me for a second. Let's pretend that Bitcoin did hit 100K or close to it, and then you come down to the bear market. Take a look at where the reversal got to, the platinum pocket, that 0.786. So in reality, with a suppressed market, if it had done what it was supposed to do, we would not have hit an all-time high here before the halving event. We would have mimicked what happened back in 2019, where we had a nice aggressive first start to the rally, a pullback that came in, and then a finishing off of the bull market with massive moves to the upside. That's the first reason why I do not think that that's going to happen. The other reasons why I don't think it's going to happen come with just the halving event in general. The halving event is the most bullish part of Bitcoin, bar none. This concept of a fixed supply total that Bitcoin will never exceed 21 million. But even when it comes to new creation of the token, every 4 years or every so many blocks that are created, we cut the ongoing supply in half. This does the simple economic thing of lowering supply. And when supply lowers and demand stays steady or increases, the price will increase as well. The halving event historically has always been a massive bullish catalyst. You can see here all these green vertical lines. We always go explosively to the upside following the halving event. But what you're not seeing on a chart like this is how long does it take after this initial top and after the halving event before we actually go. Most times we're waiting for multiple months, short end 3 months. Other times we've had to wait as long as 6 months. Ultimately, you move forward to right now, we are past it. We had our event back in April, but we are only, what is that? May, June, July, August. We have been after the halving event for 4 months. Historically, we might have to wait till 5 or 6. This kind of backs up what we've talked about for a while, and I predicted on this channel back in March. If you were watching with us, you would have been here for it. I told everyone we set this high back here on March 11th. I said, do not be surprised if we crash into or dip into the halving event and then trade sideways and boring for the next couple of months into when? Late August, early September. I told you guys back in March, I was not expecting a new all-time high until late August or September. And while there's been some moments that gave me a little bit of confusion and said, maybe I'm going to be wrong here. Maybe we see a new all-time high here in June. Sure enough, just as I originally had predicted, we collapse, we come back down. We're waiting in a very boring period of time before we actually get the bullish momentum. We are right on the cycle of the 4-year cycle of how we work around and after the halving event. So until I see a bigger crash or something else break in news that tells me there's a reason to think the 4-year cycle is completely dead and gone, I'm going to continue to abide by it. I'm going to continue to abide by the fact that halving event that happened in April has been nothing but downward action since then, not positive. That positive price action is coming. It's about being patient and waiting for that 4 to 5 month period to come. And guess what? We're extremely, extremely close to that happening. Yes, Bitcoin will still see all-time highs in the next year.
Yeah. And I completely disagree. Just kidding.
Yep.
No, that was really well said, Tim. You really took us down history lane there, memory lane. So that was good. That was really, really good. I put a question out on Twitter. You guys can follow me at tshroom. I put a question out. I asked this to my following. I said, what's a cold and unforgiving truth about financial markets that you have learned? And I got some good responses. David Silva Dalla said, you're not as smart as you think you are. It's just a bull market. So that's a good one. And then Silent Majority said, it can always go much lower. Benjamin said, trust no one. Deposit journalist parody. I'm not sure what that means. The opposite journalist parody said, about the market manipulation, I've already lost my trust in humanity before learning about that. Jenny from the blockchain said, don't buy in the green, buy when others think you're stupid. I think this one wins. This one wins in my opinion. Devin Span said, I'm not the smart, always humbling. I'm not that smart, always humbling. Devin, the smartest person in the room knows that they're the dumbest. Hot Banana Fuzz said, it cares less about you than you do about it. That's the financial markets. So some real bangers there from the brilliant high IQ audience that follows at tshroom. Make sure you guys are following so you can throw in your 2 cents when I drop some hot cues in the X account. So, Tim, do you see any other questions here in our Q&A section?
Caspian Stop Hunter says he thinks 62, then 42. Get ready for the shakeout. Hey, listen, my friend, I don't think we're going to 42, but I'm also not necessarily ruling it out completely. That absolutely is a possibility. I just have a sneaky suspicion that 49K solved a lot of problems for whales and institutions, and I don't know if there's enough capitulation left to drop us all the way down to 42. I could be wrong, but I've said this before. I'll say it again, even kind of with the stuff that you just said, and one of the quotes from Jenny, he said, buy when everyone thinks you're stupid. Listen, guys, I hope nobody comes on here and subscribes thinking that I get everything 100% correct. In fact, most of you who have been watching long enough, you've seen me make mistakes. But you've also seen me get a lot of things correct. That's why a lot of people are subscribed to the channel and keep coming back. My point I've made multiple times now is I actually am a much better. I get predictions correct way more often when my opinion is the minority opinion, meaning when everyone else seems to be disagreeing with me. That seems to be the season where I get most things correct. Even like that prediction in March that we would crash and we would not see new all-time highs until August or September. I was called crazy for that. Just like back last year when XRP approached almost $1 and I said, hey guys, this is going to pull back majorly, at least back down to 56 cents. I was called crazy. Hindsight, of course, showed that I was 100% correct. That is not necessarily a bad thing for the rest of you even to think about. If everybody that you're listening to says the exact same thing, you got to ask yourself why. Why is everyone going in the same direction? To me, more often than not, that looks like more like sheep being led to a slaughter. They've been told, go this direction, and they're being controlled by the media. Go this way, and you'll be all right. But they're leading you to your demise. It actually sometimes pays to be a contrarian and say, you know what? I'm going to choose the road less traveled. With that said, tshroom, it's time to do our giveaway. We have, if you go to my screen, a wheel brought to us by Lux Algo. But these are all of our Pro Bros members. These guys are some of the OGs. This group's going to get a lot bigger, tshroom. I know it, as people continue to load up on their education. But thank you to each and every one of you guys in here that are part of our community. I know we get to teach you guys, but I love getting to talk with you guys and even learn from your feedback as well. If you guys want to check out and become part of the group and get access to these weekly giveaways, check out the memberships down below. Pro Bros is the one you're looking for. Let's click on this tshroom and see who gets $50 this week. Here we go. You guys don't get to hear my fun sound. Again, the clicking. It's very good. DeVito011. I was just talking with him the other day. I love it. I love it. I love it. DeVito, we're going to reach out to you on Discord in terms of like a chat, but make sure you DM us privately so we can get information to send you your weekly $50 giveaway for this. Congratulations for our exchange giveaways, both CoinW and Blofin. We're going to be announcing those winners tomorrow on the Saturday show. If you want to find out more, I'm going to give you a little bit of time simply by signing up down below. with one of our exchanges, either CoinW or Blofin, and entering trades and putting them into our Discord. There's a group that you can get access to. Every single trade you register gives you an entry to win a weekly $50 bonus. Go operate now. Again, even if you just want to get into trading and you want to start making some money with our group, make sure you sign up for one of our exchanges, CoinW or Blofin. With that said, T-Shroom, it's Friday. It's the last show of the week, but tomorrow morning we'll be live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to see all of you there. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic weekend. With that said, adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.